Alright guys, what's up? You're watching the third episode of Counting Macros for Beginners, and we're going to be going over 3 tips on how you can effectively use a food scale and also the reason why you should be using the food scale. Here's the video and enjoy. Alright, I got my apron on and now I have all the knowledge about nutrition that I need now that I have this on. So, why should you use a food scale? Let's get right into it. You should use a food scale because it'll help you learn more about portions and it'll help you be more accurate when you're tracking your food. See, when it comes to tracking food, like I've been saying, and what I've learned from my coach, Cayenne, is that you want to work with consistency and you want to work with accuracy as you're going through macros because you're learning how your body responds to carbs, proteins, and fats. So it's going to be really important that you become accurate with a food scale. If you're not using a food scale, you might just be eyeballing things and we may not even know how big that portion size is. So when you get started, I suggest using a food scale because it'll help you learn more about portion sizes and how much of that specific food has that many calories and carbs, proteins, and fats. You shouldn't be using this I don't think you should be using this your whole entire life, but I think it will help at the beginning once you're learning. Alright guys, so the first tip for using a food scale to track macros is cooked food versus uncooked food. So here's what I'm going to use. This is the example. When I'm using chicken breast, okay, and I'm cooking that, it's going to weigh more before I cook it. After I cook it, it's going to weigh less because it's sucking that moisture out of it. But with the rice, it weighs less before I cook it, and when I cook rice, it's going to weigh more. So food's going to weigh differently depending on if it's before or after. So you want to make sure if you're cooking your food, you weigh it cooked all the time. But if you always weigh it raw or uncooked, make sure you always weigh it raw or uncooked. Just make sure whichever way you're doing it that way every time and being consistent with it because it's going to weigh differently. So make sure it's always cooked the same way as well. So if I'm always baking my chicken a certain way, bake it that way. If I cook my rice a certain way, do my very best to cook it that same exact way because you want consistency and accuracy. Alright, the second big tip I can give you guys is when you're making a dish, weigh those things individually because sometimes if you make a dish and then it's all done and it's cooked and then you're trying to weigh it, you're like, oh shoot, I have no idea what's in this. So before making a dish, weigh those things out individually and try that out for one portion. Now, if you're going to eat it over a certain amount of time, I remember what I would do. I would divide it in 4. So let's say if I made oatmeal or something, I would make it in bulk. So I would divide it into 4 different things. So I was going to save it throughout the day and do that. So just make sure you weigh the stuff, all those small ingredients before while you're putting in. That way, by the time you make your meal, you're not like, oh shoot, what's in this? So weigh those ingredients individually. And the third cool tip you guys can use when you're using a food scale is using the negatives. So I like to do this when I use peanut butter. So it's not always you just put things on top of the food scale. I mean, I would hate to just put a dollop of stuff on top of my food scale. But what I can do is I can put the jar of peanut butter on it instead and then scoop out and it might say negative 32 grams. My serving size. So guys, try those tips out, and if this helps, go ahead to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any more questions on using a food scale or anything else, put those in the comment section below. And if you're interested in the next video of the series, we're going to be talking about how to find your maintenance calories. So now you learned all these tips of all the other videos of how to track your food and why this stuff's important. And now we get to learn how to find your maintenance calories. Guys, have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side.